What's that?
All right, I call to order the Lapel Town Council regularly scheduled meeting for Thursday, July 16th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Lapel Lions Club Community Room. This time I ask everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I didn't think I'd remember that after many years.
All right, roll call.
Roll call. He said roll call.
Chad Blake,
Present.
Lindsay Washmuth, here. Christy Workman. Here.
All right, before we get to public comments and concerns, Councilwoman Washmuth has something she'd like to read to the folks.
So, based on some questions we've received, I just want to start with a statement, so everyone knows our position.
You have to speak up just a little bit,
You're fine.
please, and
The
thank you.
town has carefully reviewed the questions that have been raised regarding Council President Chad Blake's residency. Indiana law does not determine residency solely by where a person is temporarily sleeping, or by where their ownership, or by the ownership of another property. Rather, residency is determined by the totality of the circumstances, including a person's domicile, their intent to remain or return, their homestead status, and other objective evidence demonstrating where the person considers their permanent home. The town has consulted with the Madison County Prosecutor's Office regarding the facts presented, and based upon those facts, there is no legal question that Mr. Blake remains a resident of the town of Lapel.
All right. At this time, we'll open the floor to public comment. Anyone that would like to come up, please keep your comments brief. State your name. You do not have to state your address. And you may have to hold the button to turn that thing on when it lights up green. You're good to go. There you go.
Hi, my name is Amy Egley. Y'all know who I am.
Hold a little closer. Good.
Amy Egley, y'all know who I am. Can you tell me what law that's referring to, please? And can y'all let me know when you're gonna actively, formally, actually file my petition?
Mr. William?
Yep.
Your petition has been filed.
It has not, actually.
As of today, it was filed, whether or not the docket shows that or not, I don't know, but
It hasn't as of 4 p.m. today, so I will check tomorrow, and I hope that's the case.
I understand.
So again, what law is that referring to?
The residency,
Mhm.
can't name the statute off the top of my head, but there's
You might need to do that. Can you look it up for me?
I've been
We
more
have
than
time.
happy to.
We have time.
Residency
We have
is
time.
based upon domicile.
I understand that. Can you let me know? You have time.
The
You don't
exact,
need to keep talking. Just look it up.
would the council like me to look it up?
You can look that up and get it to her after the meeting. There may be other folks here that need to talk. So that is not something that needs to be satisfied at this moment.
I would just like it on the record that actually a lot of people here would like that satisfied and on the record.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah,
Good night.
All right, anyone else?
Yeah, that one's.
Because that microphone's not working.
I think it's, page you need to get any better. Well, he's doing that, it's IC 35-5-2-6.5. It has to do with Indian election.
Can you explain that to everyone? So that you, and repeat the number, please, so I can write it down.
IC 35-5-2-6.5.
And are you guys able to explain to the public that you guys understand what that means fully?
We do understand.
Can you explain it to us verbally?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Why don't you explain it?
That he has established a consistent forward path to getting his house rebuilt in the town of Lapel. He still owns property here. He has consistently made improvements for the town and worked to get things.
That's not
a matter of opinion, but
Let's keep it factual and let's keep it to the
it
law,
is.
please.
So there's nothing in the statute that he has not adhered to the spirit of the law. So he's moved forward consistently and.
I would like it noted that it will be documented that if this is like proven and accurate and any votes beyond this that he makes will be perjury. So I need everybody on the council to understand that moving forward.
Thank you. Okay, this one's dead. Oh, there's something.
My name is TJ Pinkerton. I live in the annex south of 38. I believe ever since we've been annexed that I have been improperly charged for stormwater processing. I have the bridge over Mud Creek on Atlantic. Covers the entire front of my property, belongs to the Madison County Drainage Commission, which means, given the ordinance back in 2014 or 2011, when the Drainage Board was established, it says that part of the system that is excluded are drains of water courses under the jurisdiction of Madison County Drainage Board. Which means that I've been paying in to something I have not been receiving, since I also pay yearly to the Drainage Board for that upkeep of the drainage. So, I would like my money back. Thank you.
Way harder, Mike. All right. This is the explanation that I was given. I obviously live out there as well and pay a drainage board bill, in addition to.
That is completely different from my property. That is on the highway, completely different from what we're looking at in my house.
The town of Lapel has an established stormwater area.
Correct.
That is the boundary of the town of Lapel.
Correct.
All right? And therefore, every property that is within that boundary is subject to a stormwater maintenance fee.
Unless it connects to the county drainage, which is my house.
The town additionally pays a county drainage for what is responsible, and that fee goes to cover the town's drainage bill for that
So
area.
the county owes me back then? Because I pay the county twice a year.
I pay the county twice a year as well.
What else?
So why are we double paying for the same drainage that nobody's maintaining? When in the law, in the ordinance 2011, it says that I must pay because it connects to the county.
So our annexation took place after that.
Right, 2014.
In that case, we'll have to get additional information. I'm giving you the information that I've been given for years. and
Right, that's what I've done for years too.
Yep.
Until I got the notice of a lien over $58.46.
Whoa.
And that pissed me off. So I want my money back. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
I've been Jim Bauer. I've been a resident of this town for 72 years out of 74 years of life. We are now looking at a 63% increase in water rates, which is insane. The elderly in this town can't afford that kind of thing. So I was told that if we don't do that, that would be a 125% increase. So I want to know when you're going to hammer us with the other 62% at some point, because I believe this is out of hand. I believe that somebody needs to get control of this. And we've already had one water project in this town that would fail considerably. So I don't like 63%. That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
It's huge. So, and all these board members, I believe, I don't think all of you are paying that.
So the rate increase is only the minimum amount necessary to fulfill our requirements under state law. I don't know where the 125% number is coming from. That is not anything that's been in a rate study or anything like that. If we do improvements on the system in the future, that would require a rate study to be done to help fund the improvements. As we've said many times, all system improvements are ratepayer funded.
So at what point is this going to stop? I mean, at what point are people going to be able to afford to continue to live in this town at that kind of rate increase? That's insane.
We've only replaced 20% of the system. Most of our system is 60 to 80 years old. So as we have to repair or replace, the cost will be included in the next rate study. And we'll have to wait and see what that is, but
So we have not maintained our system, so now all of a sudden we're gonna get hammered for all the additional costs. I'm really disappointed in this board for approving that right off the get-go. I think it should have been thought up a lot more than what it was thought of, and the people should have been informed more than they were informed. I'm very disappointed in this, and I'll just be honest with you.
thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll say something. My name is David Bodenhorn, and our family owns a lot of ground south of Lapel. We set back, I know there was a group of tribes who de-annexed out of Lapel. We were against it. Didn't go very far. But I think with what's going on in this town, I think our family is going to look into de-annex. This town cannot supply us. According to the annexation in 2014, you had 3 years to start being able to supply a fiscal paper, a fiscal program of what you were going to do. And I have never seen that. We can't even get a pothole fix. And going back to what Jim was talking about, unless you start development, the people in Lapel are going to pay for everything instead of spreading that thing out with new development, with new utilities. I'm sorry, but you guys are going to get hammered if you can't spread that out. But I think our family is going to hire an attorney. I think we're going to start the de-annexation process because this is almost a joke. This is almost every day we do something different. I go on vacation, I look on my phone, and there it is, Indianapolis Star, with how bad our water system is. And it's like, holy smoke. And now we got a rate increase, and there's no guarantee that's gonna fix the dirty water. And like you said, it's 20% you fix.
About 20% of the system.
So you got 80 more to do. So,
Wow.
and you're talking another, maybe that's where he was coming up with 125%, because you got a lot more to go.
My
The sewer
goodness.
system can't even take on a development. We've had developments come in. You guys are stuck. We're stuck.
Yep.
So I think,
There was decades of mismanagement that has led to this point.
there's still mismanagement going on. But everything I can look, it's not getting any better. We have 2 board members that don't even show up. And one of them, I know, is not gonna show up. He doesn't even live here either. Been told he's not coming back, collecting a paycheck for nothing. And this is just insane. When you only have 3, you can really control what goes on. And that's not right. So I think our family is, I'm a bulldog, true and true. All families been bulldogs,
Yeah,
but you're probably gonna have Pendleton or Angles under the border of Brookside. And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. So I think we're going to hire an attorney and start the de-annexation process. We know it'll be a long process. You guys can fight it. That'll be more money that they'll have to pay to fight it. But just what's going on, correct me if I'm wrong, I seen a paper that the town manager's resigning. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're starting over. We have no town manager now. They resigned today.
biggest mistake.
And it's, the whole process is just like Groundhog Day, living it over and over and over, and it's not going anywhere. So I think our family has seen the writing on the wall. It was already started, our family was against it, now there's a bunch more out there. Sorry, but I think Lapel's gonna get a lot smaller. That may help you out, you'll be able to get rid of a lot of employees, because you won't have near as much to take care of. So we cannot even get potholes fixed, we can't, it's just crazy. Just crazy. And when we do get them fixed, they're filled with stone. First rain comes and the stone all goes out in the yard and everything else. So just kind of let the board know this is coming.
Thanks, sir.
Yep, you're welcome.
My name's Clay Parkinson. I was on this board for I don't know, 2 terms, 2.5 terms, whatever it was. Back when I was on the board, the town had a surplus. Any of you remember that? Any of you remember that? Yeah. My memory is anywhere close, when I was off this board, left with a $2 million surplus of funds. Can you tell me how much surplus we have now?
It's in the petition whenever that gets filed.
Per fund report, man?
Just off the top of your head, just a rough
For
estimate,
everything you mean?
what you have in your,
You just want a total of what we have for,
just give me a rough estimate.
well, total in all of our funds together. Well, that's gonna have to, right around $5 million.
We have 5 board members, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Where are the other 2?
They are not here.
Why not?
We have not been given a satisfactory answer for that.
What is the way to make those board members no longer a board member? If they're not gonna participate, number one, why are we paying them?
Because we're required to.
No, we're not. There's a way to make those board members go away. If they don't wanna participate, they don't wanna show up, you can make them go away.
I agree.
Yes, you can.
It's a process. Now, how long has it been since either one of them showed up to this board?
One since February, and I think the other since May.
Is that acceptable to anybody else on the board, or
No.
anybody else in this room?
Not at all.
No.
Why don't we do something about it? We keep saying somebody, right? Who's somebody? I'll be somebody if you want me to, but I don't think anybody here really wants that.
Well, can you speak to the process?
Yeah, so we've looked into, I mean,
Can't hear you.
we looked into the process of impeachment and taking it to the state senate and going through that process or other possible ways, but short of any malfeasance or some criminal act, hands are tied as a board, especially with it being 3 members.
Okay, can I ask you another question? Of course, if one of those board members just, for some reason, doesn't live in this town anymore, I'm not speaking about you. If they don't live in this town anymore, doesn't that make them not eligible to be on this board?
That's an Alex.
Yeah, 100%.
Shared.
They shouldn't be.
Shared.
I have something.
Shared.
In the town ordinance, there's the town legislative body and executive, chapter 2.4. I wanted to come in here and harp on Chad also. I'm the one that was in town hall, raising my voice about Roger. I found this. The council of the town deems it to be in the best interest of the town and the citizens thereof to abolish said legislative district and candidacy residency requirements such as all members of the town council of the town be elected at large. It goes on from there to let you know that they don't have to live in town. I wanted to be the one too.
Oh, they don't.
So like I said, on the ordinances page 4, Lapel, chapter 2.4.
How about attendance? What?
Roger,
Yeah,
Roger,
that-
because of me raising my voice in town hall. I will take that one. But right here, it says they're allowed to be here.
No involvement tells me they don't care. Do we have a board that cares about this town? Because you're gonna have a whole lot less town to care about for very long. That's not a threat. I'm just telling you we're over it.
What's the law on attendance for a council member?
There isn't a law that requires a certain amount of attendance. Once you've been elected on, there's nothing that prevents you from missing multiple in a row, or there's no statute that prevents anything like that.
Well, there ought to be a protocol where they shouldn't show up.
So just to understand correctly, there's also no law that says that if you don't show up, you can be removed from your position.
That's correct. And I know we would love for that to be the situation, but
And we cannot enter into any local legislation that is stricter than what the state allows.
Then we can't help do anything about the situation, help you reelect somebody else?
Not till the next election.
You can reach out to your council member and let them know your displeasure about their not showing up.
Has the board reached out to them?
I,
Have,
I have a question,
Okay.
Clay. What was that we did, Clay, what was that we did 10, 15 years ago? You know what I'm talking about? What was that called we did? It was in the middle of I forget what that was called.
I'm old by memory.
That we were allowed to, the current board members, there was some problems, and we filed something at Madison County Courthouse, and 3 other people, including myself, I was asked to do it. And we went in and had a special election.
Yeah.
You can do that.
You can
That's a
file,
caucus.
you can file a petition,
Yes.
and you can request a caucus as a community.
So you do not have to do, you can do that. I know, it's been done. So that is something you can do in order to fill those other 2 seats.
Yeah, there you go.
I would point this out, and I just would like you to
Everybody
consider.
use your microphone.
Yeah, press and hold.
It's coming.
There you
It's
go.
defeating me. I'd just like you to consider this. First, let me just say that my personal opinion,
Microphone.
my
There you go.
my personal opinion, I'm not speaking for the council here, but I'm responding to the
You are the
question.
council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm saying, in this particular case, I'm not speaking for the other members of the council. My personal opinion is I'm greatly offended by someone who continues to take a paycheck, who was granted a responsibility and trust by the voters and doesn't show up.
Yeah, we're getting cheated.
However, I will say this. I also strongly believe in the voters' will. I strongly believe that when you take the time to go and vote and elect someone, that shouldn't be easily overturned because someone disagrees with how they behave. Your will, when you vote, it should be a sacred process. So if you're frustrated by the way the person you elected to do the job is doing the job, you have every right as a constituent to reach out to that person and let them know. And I would say, I'm not encouraging anybody to go with lanterns and pitchforks. Please politely let the person know. But we're neighbors. We are your neighbors. Some of us are your friends. Go have a conversation. That's all I'm saying. If you want to know why the person isn't there, go ask them and explain to them that you voted for them, you have an expectation. I would hope that they would listen. And if they don't, I would hope that somebody steps up to run against them the next time their name appears on the ballot. Because that's the secondary issue. You know, we could eliminate people off the council, but I don't see a whole lot of people stepping up, even at the caucuses, and raising their hand and saying, I want to sit up here and get spanked at a public meeting. We do care. That's why we're sitting here for the 3rd, 4th meeting in a row, listening intently to what you're saying and trying to figure out how to meet your expectations. We're not walking out, we're not quitting, we're not resigning, we're not failing to show up. We're here because we care. Let's see if I'm-
Well, that's obvious.
Sorry, I need to understand.
All right. Let's leave.
Alicia West, Lapel resident. On May 6, 2026, I approached this board and asked each and every member that was present what I'd like to see or what you would like to see from us as a community. You folks went through and gave us examples. I thanked you for that. And at the end of hearing each one of you out, Chad, you promised me that the lack of agendas being posted in a shorter period of time would never happen again. With that being said, when I reflect on when these agendas were posted, planning meeting back in the spring had an open door violation because there was no post of a meeting. We just went through a water rate increase, and the most important document for that water increase, to my knowledge at the beginning of this week, still was not posted on the website. 2 days ago, the agenda was posted, and while yes, that does provide the window, 3 of you that I spoke office and Brian left, you each promised me of the transparency. And you each said that you were gonna work on keeping that going forward. Well, yes, that does address the 48-hour window. You guys have lives, we have lives, everybody has lives, and I don't have the time to sit and spend 8 hours worth of research, because believe me, I do that. And there's several other members of this community that does too, and I know there's several members of the board that does that as well. So in that going forward, what are we gonna do to ensure that that information gets out? Because as of 8 o'clock this morning, the information was just posted on the gas presentation. That's unacceptable. You guys are better than that. I believe that you guys can be better than that. So I don't know whose responsibility it is or was, but can we go forward and make a commitment that Lisa, Diane, somebody puts this out? Because our community deserves this. It's not her responsibility to take on another damn day in that office. She was hired or voted in to be the clerk. So for our town to put something that simple onto her, she shouldn't even have to worry about it. There's 3 people in that freaking office. My God, delegate. I will volunteer my freaking time to do it my damn self. This is unacceptable. My second question is, sorry.
No, I love it. I love it. Keep going.
Keep up. I've never been this mad. I'm sorry.
Go, girl.
Help me understand what the point of pushing for a financial committee. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we as town residents elected this lady sitting at this table to do exactly that. So help me understand, because to my knowledge,
If that one's on the agenda, I think you'll be satisfied.
No, I think it's good,
But, I mean, you
I
can.
don't know, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
absolutely, but
and I'm grateful that, but to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is my understanding. You guys receive financial reports for you guys to vote on and go over, correct? So why, if she provides the reports and you guys have to vote on them, then why in the world do we have to spend more money having an attorney draw up another freaking resolution for something that's already being done? Help me understand.
Excellent point. Thank you.
And then my other question is, when Brian was in office, we came up with a resolution as a town that if something wasn't on the agenda, it didn't get discussed. Are we still going by that, or is that another thing that we've kind of veered off of? Am I correct in my thinking, or am I misspoken here?
I'd have to go back and find it and read it to make sure I understand it and remember.
It wasn't part of the resolution. What he said was that he didn't like to update the agenda and add things after the fact. So we do our very best not to do that, except in situations where it was an emergency and we didn't have a choice.
Thank you for that clarification. Anybody have anything they want to add before I walk away, because I gotta leave and come back?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey again, short and sweet, Amy Aisley. Just a couple of clarifying questions, super quick, Lindsay. Can you read off that code again, one more time?
Be 36526.
Yeah, that's not it. The one that she provided me earlier was for felony charge.
36,526.
Okay, can I just ask a question for the record? Where are your belongings?
I'm not answering personal questions.
Okay, that's cool. That's all I needed to know. Thank you. Have a good night.
But she has.
All right,
Wait a minute.
No, we're you can close the public.
Please.
I just want to say that we had a really good town manager that helped me anytime I needed any help, and I hated that she was resigned.
The code I had for that, believe me, I wanted to be upset too, was 36.5.2.4.1.
Yeah, all of 3652 is gonna be
But that
responsible.
4.1 is your specific to that situation.
But they should have known that, that's the point.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, they don't know.
all right. At this time, we're gonna close the section for public comments and concerns and move on. All right, first thing that we had up was a presentation by Banning Engineering for CCMG. What do we got here for Banning Engineering?
Good evening, council. My name is Mark Butler. I'm with Banning Engineering. I've been asked to come and present a little bit
Speak up.
information about,
Thank you.
about the Community Crossings Matching Grant, how we can help guide you through that. So a little bit about the grant, if you're not familiar, is this is an excellent opportunity to receive state funds to offset your road improvement or reconstruction costs. For a town your size, this is an 80-20 grant, 80% state funds, 20% local funds. The many communities in Madison County, most of them, apply for this on an annual basis and receive quite a bit of funds. And so I had this presentation put into your packet, so I'm going to kind of follow along with these slides as you, if you follow along with me. I hope to be able to answer any questions about how we can help and what the program is about, okay? Over the past 5 years, Anderson's received about 4.7 million, Elwood about 2.9, Ingalls about 2.1, Pendleton about 3.9. Lapel hasn't applied in a while, since 2022, but you have received $842,000 of INDOT funds, to state funds to redo some of your roads. So that's a good thing, but we would like to help you reapply this year and get funds for your roadways. The way the program works is it's pretty extensive, but in general, it is actually a very low, I'll say, red tape type grant, as opposed to federal funds like through your local metropolitan planning organization. There are not nearly the environmental and other requirements involved. And so that's why a lot of your neighboring towns in the county have applied for this successfully over many, many years. And it's become like a principal or primary funding source for roadways. And so the things that you need to do this is to have an updated ADA transition plan, a Title VI implementation plan, an LTAP pavement asset management plan that's submitted annually on December 1st. You need to select a project that you would like to do. That's something we can help you with, and prepare a detailed cost estimate for that project. And so that you know about, where, like, limits from A to B, where you want to resurface or do crack seal or do things like that. The grant will cover things like resurfacing, but also sidewalks, curb and gutter, storm improvements, but it won't include things that are considered betterments like fencing, lighting, things like that. It's really only the things that create the roadway rather than make it beautiful. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So you also need a financial commitment letter to show that the town commits to your match amount, which would be 20%. And then you need an ordinance that someone who signs those documents has the signing authority. So that's typically your town council president or town manager, whatever that might be. And so what we offer as assistance to do this is to help you apply. The process, there's a lot involved. And so we've put together a slide at the end, which kind of shows a stair step. I wish there's a projector in here, but I'll just kind of show it here. The first step is to help apply, and that's to get all of those requirements put together. So your funding letter, pull together a project that you would like to do or select. If there's a group of roads that you want to do, or maybe just focus on one road, you could do all sorts of things there. And we would look at it from an engineering perspective and estimate how much the construction cost would be for that project, okay? And then we would make sure that you have your LTAP letter and the other requirements. Make sure you submit that on time. The grant opens September 1st and closes at the end of September. And that's a firm deadline. So there's no grace after that, typically. The next step is to do the engineering on that project, to make sure you have construction plans. It's important to note that if your project is over $300,000, you have to go to public bid per the Public Works statute. What that means is you have to have some plans and specifications and a detailed cost estimate so that you know what you're getting into and that your contractors can come forward and have fairness. Then we would put those plans together for you depending on the project that you select, okay? And we would also provide specifications. After that, the state typically awards somewhere in the fall, and then you would get a letter of award of how much, if your project was awarded or not. And at that time, you need to put it out to bid, and have a contractor selected in no less than 3 months after your award. And that's really important because you want to be able to get it out on the street to get it to bid quickly in case you have to rebid it for some reason. If you don't have enough contractors or whatever that might be. So in our experience, we've been through that many times with many communities, and so we would help you through that. Through the bidding process, we would help with pre-bid meeting, addendums, make sure your bid opening is done properly and advertised properly. And then through the construction process, be able to help you with pre-construction meeting, reviewing construction submittals, review pay applications, field visits, and assist with the NDOT closeout process. So there's a lot involved in this. And so we wanted to kind of review a little bit. All of these things were included in a proposal that we gave you guys for consideration. I think it was last month. I wasn't able to make it last month, so I'm kind of here, talking about it. That first part of it was to help you build an asset management plan for multiple years, not just now, but for multiple years. And I understand that part was approved, but hasn't been signed yet. What we're proposing now is that since we're really short on time, if you choose to, we can omit that part and do the rest of that proposal, just exactly how it's written. And we brought a modified copy with us tonight, if you would choose to do that. Just as we understand there was just kind of some questions about if you were to choose, for example, Central Avenue to do that project from top to bottom, how much would that cost? And so we were asked to kind of take a look at that. So we went ahead and did that for free, just to show you kind of like our process and how much that would cost from a construction standpoint. So if you repave Central Avenue and included all of your sidewalks, curb and gutters, and minor drainage improvements, replaced your street signs and your stop signs, and there's most people have a parking area on the east side, parking lane. We kind of had an to do that. These are all just hypothetical and very high level numbers, okay? But it would be somewhere around $945,000 to construct that road, okay? That's, again, we have not done any engineering. This is an estimate only, okay? And that has some contingency built into it, so we always have good practice to do that. If you were to not do the parking lane, you'd be about 200,000 less than that, okay? So if you were to choose that project and put in the 20% match that's required, plus the cost for our engineering fee, which is not eligible for grant, that's a separate thing, then you would be in, as the town, you'd be about $225,000. Now, the road, the amount of money that NDOT would then match would be, let's see, hang on a second.
What was out of that, what was your estimated engineering fee?
Yeah.
Because the thing that we've run into in the past is part of the reason we haven't done a project in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is we have the limited funds. Being a small town, we don't get a whole lot. So what we've been doing is attempting for a year or two to save for a large project.
Sure.
To be able to do that, because typically the engineering fee ends up being the part that we don't have the funding for.
Sure,
So,
understand. And it's not applicable under the grant funds.
or
You'd have
the
to come up with that.
NBH funds that are restricted, right, Teresa? So that's something that has to come out of the coffer somewhere else.
Sure. So, for a set of plans and basically taking you through all of the steps that I kind of described.
Yep.
It would be $35,600 to do that. Okay. If you were to do Central Avenue, that the NDOT match, the 80% for that would be $756,000 that they would give you. So it would be if you were awarded. Okay. So that's the 80-20 match.
That's the 80 of it.
Yeah. Okay, so, there's not a lot of time, before when you need to apply. I'm not necessarily pressuring you to do something right now, but, it is a very good opportunity to do a road or several roads, at a 20% on the dollar, for the construction piece. So I want to open that up to questions, what you have, questions-wise.
So first, the PASER ratings, we have an employee that went to a class at Purdue, and in the time since the last meeting, working with Purdue, she has completed the PASER ratings map and all the information for that. So that piece of it we have complete, and ultimately at this meeting, we were waiting for what's that approximate cost for the process. So your guesstimated project for Central, what's the actual length of the paving on that? Is that a mile and a quarter? What's the total area?
Do you remember that?
I don't remember the length off the top of my head.
You don't remember the length? I don't think it's more than a mile.
It's from East Pendleton Avenue to 9th Street.
East Pendleton Avenue to 9th Street. So.
Yeah.
I got a question. You said that, your fee was 35,000, that's part of the 225 you was talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So then, is that for the 745,000 without those parking lanes on the side?
That would be with the parking lane on the east side.
The two are part, okay.
Yeah. So this is intended to kind of just give you a ballpark idea.
Right. And that's what we needed. Like I said, we've been saving funds, in our MVH, and our local road and street for the last 2 years, trying to get enough to be able to do an actual decent chunk of road versus just piecemealing small patches.
Sure. And to that point, if you choose to, you could You could opt to do a mill and overlay approach where you resurface roads. You could do several roads for the same amount. You're essentially doing less depth on a road, less intricacy, I guess. But you would be spreading that money out more. Does that make sense?
Right, and of course, that all depends on the road. Some roads you have to do a full depth reclamation. Others are in a good enough shape that you can do that mill and overlay. So I know there's part of that inspection process that we have to determine, is this a full depth, or is it just the ability,
Right.
Can we fix it?
Right, exactly. And that's where the PACER ratings are your guide to deciding on your project. For example, if you want to take a road that is a 4, 3, 2, 1 in the PACER ratings, then that indicates that there's base failure, and a mill and overlay just won't last as long as it should, And so if you're wanting to do a mill and overlay approach, we recommend that you choose 5, 6, 7s, and 8s to maximize the bang for your buck on that. Absolutely. So.
Just to be clear, Chad, this was a hypothetical piece that was done just for illustration purposes. We're in no way saying that Central Avenue is a top priority.
Correct. It was let us know what we're looking at number-wise, so that we can take our PACER ratings and go, where can we spend the money that we have to get the most bang for our buck, like he said.
Right. So just a note on that, it's that first piece of scope that was approved the last council meeting. The purpose of that was to find out how much match money do you want to put into this grant cycle, and what are your priorities, okay? And then we would map out exactly like okay, what are those roads for this year? What should we do next year and the following year, given the amount of match money that you project that you might be able to put in? So what we did for Central Avenue was we assumed that you would be putting in kind of a maximum amount, which you don't have to do. You could put in 100,000. You could put in, what you can afford at the time, and then get the 80-20 on that. And it just gives us the idea of a proactive planning step rather than, just throwing, just a number at it. So without that information, we just went with, let's just assume the maximum amount and see what Central Avenue would give us. Does that help, I guess, a little bit?
Yeah, at least we know the target we're aiming for, so that we can figure out, okay, well, at that estimated rate, at that cost of engineering, we can pull from here, and figure out what we're actually gonna do. So that's something that should be able to come in focus pretty quick with that information.
Right. And I'll just reiterate that we're committed to a long-term relationship with you guys. We have an office in Pendleton, Indiana. We've been helping towns do this since 2016, the beginning of the Community Crossings program. And we have a very good sense of what is fundable and what isn't. And so we want to work with you guys. And so with when we talk about Community Crossings application assistance, we'll even do as much as sit with you as you apply and you're on the computer. We can help you and guide you hand in hand through that process, especially if you haven't done it in a while. That this program changes a lot from year to year, and we stay on top of those changes actively. So, do you have any other questions before?
No, I don't.
All right, appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we'll be reaching out here real soon.
Okay.
All right, next up, the Water Asset Management Plan. Mr. David Cutshall.
Good evening, Dan Cutshaw with CDS Engineers. What you have in front of you is a water asset management plan proposal. What I would recommend at this time is, until you guys get either a grant with SRF or when IURC requires this in about 4 years, put this on hold. I would not recommend moving forward with this yet until you guys at least get grant money. And if you get grant money or loan money, with the SRF, you will need to do this. But if you don't, and you wait till the IURC requires you to do it, it'll be in about 4 years. So I would just recommend tabling this proposal.
All right. Do we have to vote to table that? Nope, since no action's been taken? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Anything else for us? Nope. All right, thank you, sir.
Why would we, I just want to understand why we would table a project that will tell us exactly what we have and what the most critical.
Dan,
Let me
elaborate.
Okay, we already know what you have and what you need to do. We have provided a, application to do another 20% of water main relocations and lead line replacements. So that has already been done. What the water asset management plan does is it looks at all your assets in terms of number of valves, number of hydrants. And it's something that I would work with Brandon on, and we would work together to put together a list of all your assets.
Okay, and does it describe condition, potential lifespan, remaining lifespan? So I mean,
Yes,
isn't that something that would help us to develop a more effective maintenance plan and potentially help us to avoid some of the crises that will come if we have failures?
well, yes and no. Like I mentioned, we already know the areas that we want to replace. And we're gonna do it systematically so that you have, a large loop around Lapel and ladders for better fire protection and, replacement of those pipes. So we've got that already set up. We did that when we, submitted the preliminary engineering report in March of this year, the SRF for financing. So that's been done. The asset management plan is something you need, but I don't think it's something that's critical at this point until you get funding.
Would make, just a side quest here, it might make sense when, and I'm sure somebody's already thought of this, but I am the newbie. It might make sense that when we start looking at what roads may be the potential, candidates for any road projects, that we take into account what the greatest potential failure is in these lines, so we're not paving something that we're gonna probably need to tear up.
Yes.
Very good point.
Or we tear it up and we make that next year's project.
Very good.
All right. Good.
Any other questions?
I have a question, if I'm allowed.
Go for it.
Thank you. So with the recent events, does this affect our ability to get funding for something like this?
No, you have a current asset management.
Right.
So you have checked that box. It's not a very good one per the IURC's new regulations. I mean, it was fine when it was done, but IURC has a whole new list of requirements that has to be done. So it's fine the way it is today. And I did speak with SRF this morning, and she told me that you did check the box on that. There's a couple other things we need to improve on, but that is not one of them.
Good to know. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up, presentation, Citizens Gas, with their considerable presence in the back of the room.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Warren with Citizens Gas, our Citizens Energy Group, and wanted to first say happy birthday, right? Some friends of mine actually were in town this past weekend, and those kind of things are bragging on you all. Their kids live here along with their grandson, and just talk about what a remarkable presentation and community and those kind of things about it. So affirmatory to that, and congratulations, happy birthday, 100 years, that's significant. Somebody did get confused because they thought it was a typo, confusing with the country's 250, so they thought maybe you all were like parallel with them. That was a running joke with some others. But the reason we're here tonight is really just to introduce ourselves to you and your community. Again, I know I've been here at a couple of meetings in the past, been working with Teresa and Brandon hand in hand and lock and step for some of the transitions. If you've read those things online and on the postings and those kind of things, I know we've been trying to stay in constant communication for updates. First question that I know got shared in here is when those things gonna happen? When's the transition happening? The current date right now is Monday, August 3rd. Is when the reading date can take place as far as a transfer. Therefore, your final read with Lapel Gas would be on that Monday the 3rd, and your first read with Citizens Gas, or Citizens Gas in Westfield, that Bill would actually read there, would be that same day, simultaneously. It's the same read, so that we can utilize that for your end read and then your beginning read for us. Along with that, the billing occurs then what we refer to as a short cycle. It'd be a short cycle in both. That's a premature read to what you normally have on your current cycle with Lapel. They normally read in the middle of the month, and we would normally read yours towards 2/3 of the month way through and bill in the final week of August. So you're gonna arrive a bill from, in essence, in August, you'll receive 2 bills. You'll get one from Lapel for a partial month and one from Citizens for a partial month. I know that was crucial and important. Folks coming in here and speaking to that. Both will be partial month services.
And that's for what month starting?
It would start August, for the month of August, correct. Now, some of the usage for Lapel would be for part of your July usage, because the last time they read was probably July 15th, yeah, just recently. So it would be from like the 15th of July to August 3rd, and then Citizens would be from August 3rd to approximately August 18th. Don't quote me exactly on that date, but I'll be glad to come back and talk to them. The bill would have that on there. But more importantly than the bill, one thing I do want to share, and I want to make clear, just as far as I think it's important and critical when it comes to natural gas and just the urgency and importance of that. And I know Brandon could echo those kind of things and stuff like that. When it comes to, if you smell something and you think you have natural gas, it's going to be critical and important that you get that phone number. We're going to have that phone number. It's going to be on flyers and brochures you receive. You'll get a postcard in the mail that looks like this. I mean, this is a large version of it. You're gonna get a letter in the mail from us. You're gonna get a welcome to citizens packet from us. You're gonna get another postcard in the mail from us, along with the bill. We're gonna make it clear. We're gonna have that phone number on there. Writing down right now, it's area code 317-924-3311. It's on every handout we have up here. There's even a small card over here. If you want to play games with somebody, it's a scratch and sniff. It smells like rotten eggs or smells like sulfur. So you can have fun with that. That's what it smells like. Don't do it and then say, I smell gas now, as far as that's concerned. Yeah, I mean, it's a joke, but it's not a joke because everybody has to respond. And that's not what Brandon means right now, nor does Citizens. But it's a free call and it's important and urgent that you know who to call and when to call. We will clearly work with Lapel and the community and the town will have response and those kind of services. But we want to make sure that that is just echoed out there and to you as the community when it comes to that. Probably the only other thing I wanted to share about is a little bit about the bills. You know, there'll be options that you'll be able to have, whether you want to pay online, whether you want to pay through automatic check deduction through your checking account, if you want to use a credit card, if you want to pay by phone. We have another handout over here that shows here, it's an entity called Pay Near Me. So you won't be able to pay at the town hall anymore the gas bill. So your citizens bill will need to be paid either electronically, like I was just speaking to, or the Dollar General does have that service for Pay Near Me where you go in there and pay that bill. It's literally called Pay Near Me. If you shop on the east side of Indy or northeast side or in Anderson or other Pay Near Me locations, this handout that we have over here, pick it up. You can look at it online. We'll have it posted at the town hall. We'll have this same postcard posted at the town hall. We'll have that kind of advertisement up for you all. We're talking to Teresa about that. We'll make sure it's there for you and readily available. That same number I mentioned before that you would have to call is not just for a gas leak, it is for customer service also. So when you're establishing your account, and you're setting things up, there's a transfer that you'll need to do for all that. Yes, our presence tonight was really just to kind of introduce ourselves and be here and join your community for that. If you want to be part of that, I mentioned to Teresa and Brandon before that in addition to tonight, you have a meeting in September, so your monthly meetings for this. more than willing, and we have it on our calendars to come back, so you'll have a gas bill by then, if you have additional questions. Our goal there would be, if you're having trouble getting logged on and creating an account, we have someone here to be able to help with that. We want it to be smooth and easy, but I get it, change is tough and can be difficult. So we want to be sensitive to that, and want to work through that process with you. I think I covered the bullets all legal told me to do, so I'm gonna do that, so. Additional questions, concerns, thoughts?
I have one. Will
Yes,
it affect our bill, like from time to time? Like
Say the
we-
question again, sorry.
Like where we pay so much here, will we be paying something different from?
The rates,
The
you're talking about the different rates.
Yeah, they're right.
So are the rates different than what they are for Lapel? Is that what you're asking? Or are you saying, will you be paying Lapel bill also besides gas?
No, like when we switch to you,
Yes, sir.
is it gonna be like different rate from what we're paying now?
Yes, so it is a different rate. It is, what we don't structure is what we call a winter and summer rate that you all currently have right now, to where your price for the commodity of natural gas varies and is variable throughout the year. We flat rate that commodity throughout an entire year. The flat rate is less in the overall comparison, but it'll take you a year to aggregately feel that rate delta. It is the difference in that. So an August bill, if you look at an August bill and an August bill, it would actually look higher, but if you look at a January bill and a January bill, it's gonna look lower. So when you look at it from an aggregate 12-month cycle, that's where the, if you will, the equalization would occur.
Yeah, that's where the difference come in at.
Yes, and you can also, we have the option and opportunity, I know I use it in our household, to where you can work with our customer service line to establish a budget. It'll be, we're gonna have to use not your known history, because we don't have access to it. And they can't legally give us all that information and those kind of things. I'm not saying advocating, I get it, you'd be like, well, just tell them, send it over there, I can tell you what I paid. So we would use based on your home approximation and those kind of things. So if you call and get that, I want you to be prepared for that conversation. If you're trying to set up on a budget to where you can do that on your own. So it may feel a little different than that. Go ahead, Teresa, you have to tell.
And if, I don't remember, you guys were on the budget, I think.
Yes.
If you wanna call in, we'll give you what your budget was for last year and the year before, and that way you'll kind of have an idea.
What the difference is.
Yeah.
It's a good way to establish for your monthly rates what those are gonna be. I understand that, absolutely. We do that with most of our utilities. Addition?
I have a question.
Yes, please, yeah.
So as far as gallons, like just so we can help our residents gauge a better idea what Citizens charges in the Westfield rate versus what Lapel's charging per gallon for or use, I'm sure gallon's the wrong word. You
I'm
know,
gonna convert it in just a moment.
Yeah.
I know where you're at.
came from Lapel to Westfield Citizens.
So it'd be an approximation of 15 to 20%. Is our estimation of the rates are concerned. Now, keep in mind, when we say that, that's a rate difference because of what we're able, the biggest difference to that is Citizens carries a larger buy power.
Right.
We purchase gas in a larger quantity and those kind of things. We own underground storage fields. We own the transmission system that loops Indianapolis. There's a lot of, if you will, benefits that comes from that then any inhabitant or Citizens customer has the benefit. Citizens Gas and Westfield customers also have that benefit because it carries forward in that. If the winter's significantly colder, it feels different because your furnace is running twice as much. When you're laying in bed and it doesn't shut off, or you hear it kick on every 45 minutes to an hour because it's so cold, that's a colder than normal winter. So I always preface that. I've been doing this a long time. I didn't have 17 out of high school for Citizens. So I get it. I do understand it, but it feels different. Yes.
And is that like over a year's time?
Correct, yeah. And again, it really deals with, we purchase and lock in those gas rates longer term than that. We're doing it, we're trying to purchase prices for natural gas years in advance. current market pricing and those kind of things. So there's no winter or summer rate for us.
And will the existing customers be charged a connection fee, or is it just streamlined transfer over?
Connection fee. There's a facility charge on each one of the bills. If you look at your bill right now, I don't know what the facility charge is currently in Lapel Gas. I have an estimate in my head, but I will let someone else answer that question. Correct me if I'm wrong, 15 is 15 a month. So if you don't use any gas to maintain that service, main infrastructure, meter, and all those kind of things, or regulations like with the IURC or the feds, it's $15 a month. That's just kind of a flat rate.
Ours is at least $6.86.
Okay, so it is more there, but that percentage I'm giving takes that into account for that. Because I do understand that, because that is a flat rate, and that is hard in a June, summer month, when sometimes you get a bill and you think, my water heater's electric, although I prefer to get gas, I'll smile and say that, but if it is, and you're just running your heat, and you did use that, you still got a $15 bill or something like that. But know that, that's real.
And then, like, the town's going through some changes as far as, like, internet, and there's a big workload on Brandon. Does this help free him up as far as having to be right there with all of our locates? Will you guys assume that responsibility and lighten our load as far as the utility department and gas department goes, or?
Yes, we will locate the gas facilities beginning on that date. Now, to defend Brandon here, he still has to go to that address for water and sewer that you own. So the locate comes in, green and blue still gotta be marked. I say that's the color coding for the infrastructure when you call for those locates. So a third of his time maybe is carved out of that, but he's still rolling a truck, he's still going, and he's still having to do it. I guess to elaborate on that, yes, that would be, we would assume that responsibility. We were just discussing that topic as far as transitioning on those dates. If he had one on Friday, he's got one and trying to do that. It's funny to bring that up, but yeah. No, that's real. Yep.
Okay. So, and then if we have an emergency, we call the number you just gave, the 3311 number.
924-3311. Thank you for echoing that. That's like a foot stomp, awesome thing for you to do that for me. I really appreciate that. No, it's critical.
We also will be putting that as an after hours button push. If somebody's used to still calling town hall, we will be updating our system when that happens, that if you have a gas emergency, press 6 or whatever the option is. So that will be there as well to help with that transition.
Right. It's critical and important that was, frankly, that was our internal discussions at Citizens where we were talking about some of the things we would or would not be talking about here and to present and these kind of things. And for the natural gas piece, different than other utility transfers and those kind of things, to us, that's the primary important. It's safety. Reliability is right behind it, but safety.
Right.
Very good.
I got a question
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
A couple years back, we had like a polar vortex, it got really cold, and I guess the town at that time didn't buy enough gas for required. So then the whole town got a big fee.
Right.
Is that something Citizens Gas also has to do?
So what I was talking about earlier about how we pre-purchase pricing and those kind of things, and it's similar to any other commodity where we are buying the head future values of those, and then we have stored commodities of that. Citizens hedged and protected against when that occurred. And so you can go back and look at it, whether the Westfield customers and those kind of things were insulated from those kind of purchases for that exact reason. We drew from different resources that we have, whether it's a transmission system, our underground storage, and our prepaid pricing of where we secured that. Nothing's foolproof forever and everything like that, but yes, we definitely take proactive measures for that in a sense.
Did you have any issues during that time?
Our only issues were operational response. If you think about it and you're working in the field and you're a Brandon or something like that, there's not enough bibs, coveralls, and insulated material to be able to be out there for extended periods of times. So if we were still there and present, we can move a lot slower.
And then are you taking over the service of all the natural gas lines in the town then, or no?
Yes, so we will, beginning on August 3rd, citizens will own the mains and services. The mains are approximately 21 miles, services are approximately 860, 900, let's make it an even number, bench grade. So 900 services with an average length of 45 or 48 feet, I forget, under 700 report, yeah. So those would then be owned by citizens and maintained up to the outlet side of that meter is what we would take care of and maintain. That's part of that facility charge. The line locating, the mandatory link surveys of that, any repairs on that, those kind of things. Post the meter set is on the customer house line side is what we refer to it as. That would be home ownership.
All right.
If you had to put a dollar amount on that increase, what would you just ballpark estimate? What would,
Increasing.
as far as the exact rate increase, what, again?
No, I think it's a 15 to 20 less.
It's a decrease.
It's a decrease. I'm sorry, I'm glad you asked that question. I'm saying 15 to 20% less.
I have somebody
So,
asking me.
I thought it was more.
If your annual gas bill was $1,000 last year, January to December, I'm estimating then you're $850.
Okay.
15%.
Okay.
Discount for your bill. Again, you're gonna have to ride and live the year
Right.
because we don't do an aggregate winter rate, summer rate, true up in August. We're buying natural gas prices, as the gentleman in the back Sheridan said, for future values into 2028, 2030, 2035, in some capacities and things like that right now, today. To help secure and protect against that, those kind of fluctuations, because when the commodity goes like that, you're subject to it if you haven't pre-bought those things.
Correct. Thank you.
Absolutely, I'm really glad you brought that up now, that would have been a.
Yeah, somebody was asking me about increase.
There would have been others later that give me a swing and a miss on delivering that message, so.
All right. Well, if anybody else has any questions, they'll be at the back of the room.
Yep.
They got some stuff to give away back there also, and feel free to talk to them after the meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next up, new business. We have resolution 2026-13 for mileage reimbursement. This is an IRS requirement that we set a rate of reimbursement that if any mileage that a town employee or elected official should put on a personal vehicle for town business, that for the calendar year of 2026, that rate is now being set at 72.5 cents per mile for reimbursement. Any members of the council have questions on resolution 2026-13? All right, I entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-13.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
All right, next is resolution 2026-14. This is a resolution authorizing the town council president to execute an ingress-egress easement on behalf of the town of Lapel. If William would explain what all that means?
Yeah, so the Woodward Park, there's a house over there that has been kind of using the parking lot for, I think the park's probably said it's like 60 years. It's been
53.
Yeah, 53 years, as if there was an easement there. So they looked at the county, saw that there wasn't an easement, so they requested the park board grant them the easement. I believe as a favorable recommendation from the Parks Board that we grant that easement. That resolution grants the president the authority to sign the easement agreement, which will require the homeowners to also sign. That basically creates an easement for their driveway to go through the parkland right there. It's just a little corner attached to that easement agreement is the language and the photos. Yeah, it's just a little corner. The agreement also allows in the future, there was some concern that if the park wanted to change something, that, what if we wanted to put up something there, then the agreement says that we can do that so long as we give them an alternate route for their driveway at our expense. And I think that's what everyone agreed upon.
Any questions? I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-14.
Second.
Thank you.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
All right, on to old business. We have one item, ordinance 2026-04, the establishment of a finance committee. Our clerk treasurer, working with our financial advisor, Harry from Cronin Associates, along with feedback from council, looked at this finance committee establishment, and with legal's recommendation, we would not be entertaining moving forward with this committee, as it is mostly redundant as to the responsibilities of our clerk treasurer and our responsibilities on the council, and those that we have contracted for with Cronin Associates. William, do we need to vote that we are doing anything by not moving forward with this? No? Okay, very good. All right, department reports. Captain Buffington.
What did he say? He muffled.
Good evening. We responded to 437 calls. We filed 34 criminal charges. We wrote 25 tickets, 20 warnings, and we're actively working on reports. We have 14 of those.
Do we have any issues or anything during Village Fair?
No, Village Fair, what's the,
Awesome.
couple little calls here and there, but nothing major. We got PD still in the middle of the remodel, the finish and paint this week, and we'll work on floors next week. And then Officer Lee graduates the academy in like 3 weeks. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hey, I've got a question, and it concerns the police department. There was a police chase about 3 weeks ago, 1:30 at night, up towards Maggart's.
Yes.
I had a police car run through my cornfield during the chase and just mowed my corn off. Who's responsible for that?
If you could.
It was definitely not the person they were chasing.
If you could reach out to the chief, he's out till Monday.
Okay.
Just give him a call and get that report, and we can.
I'll give him the county's case number. It was county's pursuit. The guy drove in your field. So I'll get you.
It was the county that did it?
Yes. we
I just
did
know
too,
somebody
but
did,
They were
it's
like, I'll explain to you. I'll talk to you after the meeting.
All right.
I'll get with you.
Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, planning.
We went over, the first. I'm sorry. We went over the first, part of the residential portion of the UDO. The planning staff came up with a 41-page report. I think we made it through 5 pages. It was, I thought it was really productive conversation, honestly. But it's gonna take a while to get through it. Honestly, it's not gonna be something that's gonna be done real soon. I attended the, I-69 corridor study meeting. I thought it was interesting. It was, I had hoped to be on the steering committee, but unfortunately, the hours that the meetings were set up were not, I could not make them with my work schedule. I did my very best to arrange my lunch, and crises always seem to interfere, so I wasn't able to make it. But our staff planner, Marcellus and Jenny, went to the meetings and participated. I thought that they did a really good job with their presentation. I'm interested to see what the feedback was, once they get all the meetings done. I'm interested to see what the feedback is. I will say, after also having taken some time out recently to study our comprehensive plan, in light of all of everything that is going on right now in the state, in the county, and in the nation, I do think that I personally would like to recommend that we start the process of introducing, at least for some time period, a moratorium on data centers that would extend beyond what the county has already enacted, which goes through the end of the year, to give us time to thoroughly go through the UDO and potentially update our comprehensive plan. Our comprehensive plan was developed back in early 2020. I would say that the average person, when you said the word data center to them back in early 2020, was probably thinking of a call center or an office building. I don't think they were thinking what we think of as a data
Not a
center.
3 mile.
Yeah, exactly. And so our comp plan references data centers, but I don't think it necessarily
The
reflects.
definitions changed a little.
Yes, exactly. And I think that it could potentially be problematic if we just sailed along. And in addition to that, I will say this. We recognize, as a town, we recognize that we have some work to do. You know, we have some work to do to be prepared to create, for lack of a better term, I don't know what the actual professional term is, but a marketing plan for the areas that we want to bring development and hopefully the right kind of development. And I think updating the comprehensive plan is a start, is a first start of that. I think too that given my personal opinion, is that given when, at the time that we requested the engagement for the comprehensive plan, it was right at the start of the pandemic during the lockdown period, the first couple, months. I think we probably would get more engagement now. And in addition to that, I think prior to the dreaded LKQ debacle, a lot of people didn't really understand the importance of a comprehensive plan or even what the planning department did. So I think we have some room to educate the public before we request engagement, so that maybe we can get more people invested in, giving their thoughts in, so that we can get something that truly represents the will of the town, maybe more effectively than what we had. Those are my thoughts. I don't know what the process is, and I know if the rest of the council is interested in exploring that moratorium. I did have a conversation with William about it. I think Jenny's had a conversation with William about it, but I don't know what the process is, if it's, I request an ordinance or shoot it down. I don't know how to, I'm still learning.
Nope, we can have William work on that and it can be presented at a future meeting.
Okay.
So I have a feeling he can get a very close one to what the county is using. All right, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Brandon, utilities.
All right, mine's pretty short. Other than Village Fair tear down, setup, we've been forced to focus on utility locates. That's all we've been doing for the past month, it seems like. Other than that, I got our GIS system, which is what we use for our mapping. Our contract's up for renewal on August 1st. There's a 5% increase from what we paid in previous years. So the total on that now would be $5,670 a year. And that, it doesn't matter now, like, that we're getting rid of gas, like I'm gonna take that map out, but the price doesn't change. I can put as many maps in there as I want to, so that doesn't affect the price at all.
Is that a 1 year amount or is that a multi-year contract?
The new contract is a one year amount. We had a multi-year, I think, agreement prior to this one. And then now it's this one, so.
Gotcha. Well, I make a motion that we approve the renewal at $5,670. Any questions?
Is it less expensive if you do a multi-year agreement?
That's a good question.
I don't think they offer a multi-year agreement anymore. I know they did when we first started, when we first signed up, because Mary was doing all this.
That's the only time we got the multi-year. After that, like, we paid last year and we paid the year before,
Yeah.
so.
Second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Christine.
Yes.
All right, that's all I got, unless you guys got something to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Great job at Village Fair.
Thank
I'm sure your whole team knows it.
Thank you.
Parks, Miss Katie.
Okay, we did receive a letter of interest for Adam Chester, so requesting that you guys appoint Adam to the Parks Department.
I'll make a motion to appoint Adam Chester,
Yes.
Adam Chester to the Parks Department.
Second,
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie.
yes.
Thank you. We did approve the state bank maintenance agreement. They are, all that's been, I'm assuming, completed. They're excited, we're excited. Mist has been in contact with me again. We will be holding a call-out meeting in September 24th at 6 p.m. Mist will have a team here to answer questions. It's the Madison County Invasive Species Task Force. So helps the parks and the public learn on what invasive species we need to be looking for in our park system to help get everything under control. They're completely new this year. The county's never had anything like this. So they're super excited to get involved with us and have held out at Brookside. The only other thing I have, our July meeting, they are remodeling here, so we are canceling our July meeting. That is all I have.
Thank you, ma'am.
When was that Mist thing at? I'm sorry.
Where?
Yeah, when it was.
So September 24th at 6 p.m. It'll be here at the Lions Club just prior to the park meeting.
Good. RDC had folks on vacation this month, so the RDC meeting was canceled for July. Alright. Administration, Ms. Jenny.
Good evening, everyone. It is true, I resigned, I gave my 30-day notice today. I, as you know, have offered to participate in a smooth transition. I think it would be important for the new town manager to be given information about projects and things so the town isn't starting over again. I just want to say, I am sad to leave, and I've met so many nice people, and I wish you all the best. I planned for that to be the last thing I said. But something came up tonight which highlights the reason I've become increasingly uncomfortable with the job. The discussion of a second water rate increase was discussed as if it's a potential hypothetical need. We have been told by our financial advisor that 63% increase was a quick and dirty assessment because when we found out about this in February, it was assumed that there would be immediate action. We're now in July, the rates haven't gone into effect. Each month we didn't collect the new rates beginning in April. That's $35,000 more dollars. We are in the hole that is not calculated into the 63%. We don't know how much longer that'll be. I think if you would listen closely to things Jared has said in the meeting, and I know for sure you've been given communications about it because I'm the one who did it, it is impossible for us to comply with statute unless there is a second water rate increase. Now, this council could decide that you don't want to do it, and you would do that by just not asking for another rate study from Jared. He's not going to push it on you. Crohn's not going to make you do a rate study. But then what that will do is it'll be left for future council, and then we'll have another emergency. Because if we can't keep up with the maintenance that's required, we're going to get groundwater again. The changes that were made that cured a lot of our groundwater problems were simple maintenance issues. It was simple maintenance and reaching out to our industrial customer about their water use and working with them. If we do not stay after it, the town will be in the exact same situation again. And I think that would be a very, very unnecessary outcome, given all the hard work that's been put into correcting the water problem. So with that, I wish you well. If conditions ever change on the council and you're interested in agenda change and improvement, you're welcome to reach out.
All right, Teresa, quick treasurer report.
First I have a memorandum of executive session for Monday, July 13th. If you guys could vote on that, I would appreciate it.
What was the date on that one again?
Monday, July 13th. This past Monday. I think she just sent it to me and told me to print it off. It's just a memorandum of the executive session.
Oh, from the 7th.
From Monday the 13th. It's just these that we do. When we have an executive.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I make a motion to approve the memorandum of executive session for Monday, the 13th.
Second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie.
Yes.
Okay. Diane and Lisa were asking me, did we ever come up with a date to close out the sidewalk 50/50?
I don't believe we did.
Can we get one so that we can,
How's everybody feel about September 1st? Give us plenty of time. We need to vote on that?
They set the date?
Yeah.
the date?
Okay.
Alright. The other thing is, we will be getting the money from the gas sale around the 3rd or 4th of August. We gave you, or I gave you last month, the money market account at State Bank, and then the Trust Indiana, the money market was a better interest rate. I just need to know which place you want me to put that money, because I'll have to have some place to deposit it when they transfer it.
How much?
4.3 million?
I think so, somewhere around there. 4.3 million, you did hear.
State banks, local. And it's new. Gave you your new town hall.
I would think that, it would be wise of us to use State Bank.
I need you guys to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we deposit the funds in State Bank.
Second. Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay. Yes. Christie,
Yes.
and that's all I have.
Okay. Very good. All right, do we have minutes to approve tonight?
Yeah, I sent them out, sorry, kind of late this evening, or this afternoon, rather. That was still up.
Okay, so we have before us, notice of the public hearing on June 17th, our council meeting on June 18th, and a special meeting on June 24th. All right, I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie.
Yes.
All right, then the approval of claims, those went out in email earlier today.
You were on there.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie.
Yes.
All right, then we have the allowance docket. Entertain a motion to approve the allowance docket as presented.
Make that motion.
Second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie.
Yes.
All right. Council member comments and concerns.
The list, why are you looking at me? You know, I have a list.
I'm looking down the table.
First question, I know that, the website, the new website is soon to be under construction. In the meantime, the current website is really out of date. I just happened to be thinking about this. I noticed it, a couple of weeks ago and I forgot about it. But when we were at the I-69 meeting and I was introducing myself to people, I realized I couldn't even say, go to the website to get my email, go to the website. I mean, we've got people still on there that haven't been on the board since the first of the year. It's really outdated. It's very jumbled. That first page where all the important documents, they're just kind of all over the place. Can we just clean that up a little bit? Maybe file some of that somewhere easily found, put it up, and so we can put the most important, most recent thing on the homepage.
If you have a list of concerns, we just need to, get those sent to Daniel and he can get that updated for us.
Daniel Paul?
Daniel Paul, yeah.
Okay. All right. Can we get a list of, or do we know what openings we still have on what boards?
We will get an updated list. I'll get with legal because there's positions that depending on who went away, it dictates who replaces them.
Right.
So like there's positions that we as a council replace, there's ones that a president specifically replaces, there's one that planning can place on things. So we need to get that detailed list and legal has all that, so we'll get that updated.
My biggest concern, and I don't know if William can speak to this, is I thought we were a member short on BZA. Do we have enough voting members currently on BZA if we were to get an application to be able to vote?
I don't have an answer to that, only because PTA hasn't had a reason to meet since the beginning of this year. So I'll have to double check who's
At the first of the month or just as needed?
First Thursday as needed.
as needed, yes.
So if someone filed an application now and we, receive it tomorrow, and we find out there's not enough members, they don't be heard until September?
They have to have those turned in by a certain time
Okay,
tomorrow.
that's what I want. I just wanna make sure
A
we
date process, yeah.
We weren't failing anyone by waiting, that's what I was trying to figure out, okay. All right, and then, so we will get updated lists though. Oh, and William, there was some concern of an ordinance is potentially needed, to mirror the, help me Teresa, help me explain it. To mirror the disconnect process to have a fail stop, similar to the trustee. Teresa can explain that, I think she knows what I'm talking about.
I like to change so we're not disconnecting after 10 days, is that what you're talking about?
Well, more along the lines of, if you get to X amount delinquency, that's when we disconnect. So that if someone needs to go to a trustee or request help somewhere, they know how much money they're asking for to get turned back on versus we're gonna disconnect whatever your current bill is if you don't pay it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, since it's administrative in nature, we can draft up a resolution. If you guys want to meet with me, we can discuss what we want that to look like. But yeah, there's no problem with that.
And I apologize, I did not word that. It's been
You got it out
day.
eventually.
The brain is stuttering. All right,
Not all Google routes are winners, but you get there.
great. Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Very good. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. There's one other thing that we do have to do. As Ms. Reski stated, she didn't turn in her resignation. We do have to, as a council, vote to accept that resignation. So I will entertain a motion to accept the resignation as submitted. Second. Oh, I was entertaining, so
Oh,
you're
you're
the first.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Christie.
Yes.
All right. And with that done, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, everybody.